What's up, Kobe Sharp, 5th grade teacher in Michigan. Welcome to my channel where we try to help kids fall in love with reading. Today is a what my kids are reading video where I go all around the classroom and I just look at the books that they're reading, talk a little bit about them. Hopefully you can find some great books to add to your to-read list, something fun for your kids, something fun for yourself as a reader. Please let me know in the comments what are the popular books that the readers that you serve are currently reading so I can add some books to my to-read list as well. Let's look at this first table. Chains, Lori Halls Anderson, part of the Seeds of America trilogy. We had a reader who fell in love with this series, read all three, and now she's gotten some other classmates to read it. Let's go. Makes me so happy to see. Next up, Johnny Christmas's Swim Team, one of the best graphic novels of 2022. Amazing story of a girl who moves south to Florida with her father. She wants to join, I believe it's like the math club or something. That club is full, so she ends up joining the swim team. Doesn't have any experience swimming, and she's in a community where swimming has been very important in the past. It's a great book, phenomenal book. I love books about kids moving to new places and trying new things, two things that I'm fascinated by in story. Next up, Chad Sells Doodleville. You probably know Chad from his amazing work in Cardboard Kingdom. This is a really fun series too. I believe there's 2 books in this series. So the doodles come to life. Very, very fun graphic novel there. Next up, Wings of Fire, book 4. We talked about this kid in a lot of these videos. He's just reading these books. Book 1, then the graphic novel, book 1, book 2, graphic novel, book 2. He's a Wings of Fire fanatic. Absolutely cannot get enough of him. And you'll see that that's starting to spread into the classroom a little bit more. Next up, Lindsay Stoddard's Brave Like That. An amazing, amazing book. Kids are really digging it. Lindsay visited last week, so you're going to see a lot of Lindsay Stoddard books here in the classroom of kids reading it. Her visit was one of the best author visits I've ever experienced, and it resulted in a lot of kids wanting to read her books, which is partly because she was amazing, but mostly because her books are amazing. Let's see what we have at the next table. Real deal, Lindsay Stoddard. We read this book aloud. I was fascinated to see how many of my 5th graders, we actually have 2 currently reading it, how many bought this book instead of maybe buying one of Lindsay's paperback books, which were cheaper, but they love the read aloud. The read aloud is such a powerful and important part of our classroom, and one of the best ways that I've ever seen to help kids fall in love with reading. So no surprise that they are reading this. Again, it makes me so happy. I love that they wanted to own the book from our read aloud. Next up, Timmy Failure, book 3. This reader was reading the Treehouse books, 13-story Treehouse earlier in the year. A kid sitting at the table next over there just finished reading the entire series, starting to kind of gain some momentum in our class, and fun to see that this is a series reader. This kid loves finding series, and I love when he finds series because I know that means he is taken care of for a while as a reader. Measuring Up, another fun graphic novel here from Harper Alley. I haven't read this one, so I don't really know much to say about it, but it's fun to see that we still have lots of kids reading graphic novels, but the graphic novels that they're reading are much different than the graphic novels that they were reading a couple months ago. It's nice to see some new titles getting some love. Hummingbird by Natalie Lloyd, one of my favorite middle grade novels of 2022. An amazing story about a girl with brittle bone syndrome who wants to go back to school. Family's worried she's going to get hurt again at school. There's this like magical hummingbird legend myth in the town where you get a wish granted. It's phenomenal. You should check it out. Hummingbird, if you haven't read it, absolutely phenomenal. So many amazing books in my class. If you've watched any of my previous What My Kids Are Reading videos, you probably will start to notice that there's some books that are still being loved and some books that are kind of like joining the party. It makes me so happy. For teacher Gordon Corman's 101st book, just published, The Super Teacher Project, book about a new teacher and a new student teacher. And there's like something going on. He seems kind of different, kind of weird. Told from multiple points of view, like so many of Gordon's books. Really fun read. And it's exciting to see some kiddos reading it. But look at this well-loved book. Look at this, Kimberly Brubaker Bradley's The War I Finally Won. Getting some love here in 5th grade. This girl earlier this week, or at the end of last week, finished The War That Saved My Life, the Newbery Honor winning book. And now she's tearing it up in this one. I love these 2 books. And when I read, in the past years, I've read aloud The War That Saved My Life, and I got a lot of kids to read The War I Finally Won. This year, I didn't even book talk The War That Saved My Life. But so many kids are reading it. It's just amazing what can happen when like kids find a book that they love and then seeing them want to get other kids to read it. The girl who loved this one is also the girl who loved Chains. She's like our historical fiction wizard in our class. She's just a book pusher, getting other kids to read amazing historical fiction, which makes my job so much easier. Look, Lindsay Stoddard, another book, B is for Blended. I was gonna say, could this be my favorite Lindsay Stoddard book? Favorite's a weird word, but I love this book. It's phenomenal, and it's exciting to see kids falling in love with Lindsay's work. Isn't that great? You read aloud a book, the more kids want to read it, but then the author visits, so even more kids are into it. Let's go. Wings of Fire graphic novel series, you know, got to see what all the fuss is about from the other readers, so got a kid checking that out. And then, oh, The Love Report. I don't know this book. Makes me nervous when the fifth graders reading about love, so I might have to check it out, report back. It's got lots of characters. Have you read this? I think it's a graphic novel. Tommy Alexander's The Crossover graphic novel adaptation. This kid recently finished Matt Tavares' Hoops. Didn't pin this kid for a kid like into sports books, but he must have caught the basketball fever reading Hoops, and now he's checking out Crossover, which is fun. This reader has read so many amazing books this year, and it's fun to see him trying a new series, the Wings of Fire series, reading book 1. Yeah, looks like he's making a dent in it too. Very exciting to see if that sticks with this reader or not. Alan Gratz's new graphic novel, Captain America, The Ghost Army. Brand new book. Alan Gratz jumping into the graphic novel superhero world. Very exciting. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Hard Luck. This kid's trying to read all of the Diary of a Wimpy Kids. Why not? Leaving elementary school, why not read them all? Gotta read them all. Ground Zero. This is my historical fiction reader I talked to you about at the last couple of tables. She's just dominating. Just dominating, reading so many books, learning so many things, inspiring so many other kids. Let's go. Final group, another reader reading Ground Zero. Can't say enough great things about this. I do think that 9/11 is one of the hottest topics in the classroom in terms of like historical fiction, like the time in history that kids want to learn the most about. It's right up there with World War II and the Titanic, which is an event that kids have been obsessed with my entire teaching career. Ground Zero, phenomenal look at that tragic day. Lightfall, this is one of my kids in my class last year. This was his favorite graphic novel. So anytime I see a kid pick this up, I get excited to see what they think. And we have book 2 because of this student. He gave me a gift card at the end of the year, and I bought Lightfall book 2, delivered it to him in the summer at football camp, and then his sister's in my class and she brought it back this year. I love teaching in a small town. Babysitter's Club graphic novel 13. Man, there's a lot of these. I haven't read this one, but it's great to see the series get new life through the wonderful adaptations by so many awesome creators. Jared Lerner's A Work in Progress. This is the book, friends. This is the novel in verse to change all novels in verse, an illustrated novel in verse. Oh, it's so, so good. I can't wait for you to meet Will Chambers, whose life is forever influenced by a child, Nick Fisher, calling him fat. You need to check out this book, one of the best of the year. Invisible Emmy. You know these series. Terry's done an amazing job with them. I love it. It's like this hybrid, it's like graphic novel, it's prose. It's just awesome. And then Catching Fire. This kid read Hunger Games earlier this year. He was really proud of himself. I was really proud of him. And now he's reading Catching Fire. We had a conference about it not too long ago, and he's about half done. So that's exciting. Those are the books that my 5th graders are reading. Hope you found something awesome to add to your to-read list. I'm so inspired by these readers daily. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have an awesome-tastic day.